When someone wants to jump and end their life, what will you do? There are two possible. First, you can watch them jump from the PC without doing anything. And the main character Akito chose option 2, he ran all the way to the roof. When he reached the top, Akito took deep breaths and cried out to stop the girl, saying that a girl would never die. He even stressed his personal preference for girls who wear glasses. The young girl with light pink hair and red-rimmed glasses turned around and looked at him with surprise. Akito kept saying one thing about girls wearing glasses not being suitable to die suddenly, but instead of jumping down, she landed right in front of Akito's face. Unexpectedly, she used blood from a wound on her hand to create a red sword. Then there was a surprise as the woman used blood from her wound to craft a crimson blade and charged towards him, piercing his body without. Akito is in pain but he doesn't die. Before the girl's surprise, he explains that he is an immortal vampire and no matter how many times. The girl is speechless because she has never heard of a love type that cannot die. Not long after, at Nei's literary society where Akito was talking to Mitsuki Neis, chairman of the literary society, about his continuous assassination by the girl, Neis asks him about killing people in the story. Akito replies that it doesn't mean that brutal killing is what readers will like and what. Akito says that chopping with a knife is the worst kind. Neis agrees and doesn't forget to mention about how Akito treated her. Akito replies that he finds no respect in the girl's words. But the girl dies because Akito argued with the advisor about reading 150 volumes of books and she reminded him that it was his idea to have a conversation with the advisor. Neis then carefully reads a book. The girl says that the story is a combination of weak motivation and mysterious plot twists and it's a bit. She says knowing this should let her leave but then she said it's a positive but interesting story. She asks for the name of the girl who attacked him. Akito said no one cares. At this moment there is a sound outside. Text. Neis asks about the name of Miss Ryama Mirai. Akito was assigned to receive this. She asked if he needed to check on her but he. Text. Akito went outside and met Mirai. Mirai was hiding in a dark alley. Text. When Akito was walking, she secretly followed him and when he was about to confront her, she. Text. Mirai pushed the door open but it caused a pile of bathroom supplies to fall down. Text. Mirai sat among the broken and messy things. Akito asked her what she was. Text. Mirai answered in a shy tone that she was just passing by. Akito lost his composure and went on asking if he should be. Text. Mirai replied with a frown that it's weird to say so. Akito asked her what she needed. Text. Mirai mumbled that she hadn't been in trouble or anything. Akito asked why was she acting so strange. Text. Akito reminded her that he had already said it, he is immortal and even if she stabbed him 1,000 times. Text. Mirai pretended to be surprised. Akito asked Mirai how many times she'd stabbed. Mirai is confused about his hands at night, saying he even 10 fingers are not enough. Because she has never heard of a demon that fights forever without dying, Akito said he already told you. You aren't a demon, you're a sold-out demon, which is the actual thing created when humans and demons have sex. Mirai asks why it's good if that's the case. Akito asked her why she said that it was good. Akito says that he has attacked you 100 times and it doesn't matter. You say you don't play a game character. In short, she's an interdimensional girl and you are a sold-out demon. She asks her for permission to leave but then trips. Akito gives a smirk because of the awkwardness. Turning back to the conversation with the Nei School of Literature, Akito asked what happened. Akito is sitting stretching his arms on the desk and seeing Nei's attitude. Nei said if he didn't, he was only a dream, confessing to her in the last year. Akito is surprised and asks her if she has liked him since when. The girl asks again if he meant to confess his feelings. Akito says that he went crazy because she always took. Nei pulls out a piece of chocolate and says it's just a quirk. She brings the chocolate stick close to him and says even if he is considered strange or so, he still has the duty to follow her. Akito gets closer to a bookshelf and says don't call him blood name anymore because he allows Mirai to mess around freely. Nei then suggests Akito should avoid samurai. And when he asks why she said that she is the daughter of the Nei's clan, head of the supernatural clan in this area, and she is giving advice to him. She concludes if Akito still doesn't understand, he is stupid enough. Later at the schoolyard in afternoon, Akito faces Mirai again. She asked you if you're planning to continue today and why are you staying at school. Akito replied that he was scared of being scolded by his friend in front of everyone if he went home early, but the girl assured him no one would see them since Akito had already sealed their fate beforehand. Akito looked at Mirai's wound on her hand, realizing she could use blood to make a sword. Mirai explained that in the world of demon slayers, her family was shunned because of her ability. The girl said that they were already strong as demon slayers so they wanted to eliminate those who. Therefore, her entire family died and she was the only one left alive, Akito exclaimed in amazement. Mirai stretched out her hand to let blood drip onto the floor and transform into a sword. Let's fight. Mirai said. Akito agreed, but wanted to. Before Mirai answered, he quickly ran away. Mirai chased after him holding. Akito ran while saying that he didn't run, but retreating strategically because he couldn't win her. Still running, Mirai chased after and shouted for Akito to stop. Mirai jumped in the air and Akito also sprinted at full speed, then ran out of the school building. Mirai also chased closely behind. She jumped from 2 to 1 step and asked Akito. Mirai quickly dodged as Akito threw something. The girl slammed on the ground and launched another attack while Akito used a bag to block an attack from the girl. After the attack, Akito ran away while Mirai tripped. Mirai went into a classroom to rest. The girl walked slowly among the observation points and then focused on the locker at the end of the class. When she got closer slowly, suddenly there was a phone ring and she got caught by surprise when Akito knocked her down inside the locker. Thought it was over but Mirai easily escaped. However, she was bumped by something else and thought Akito had tricked her. Forever it's only after escape that her belly is filled with a curse, causing the situation. Suddenly, an attack by a demon cat comes at both of them and Akito senses Mirai faces the demon cat again. A strange otherworldly spirit jumps out and attacks the demon cat. It escapes through a window quickly. The woman then asks the two to clean around her and chases after. Mirai asks Akito who he is. Akito answers it is Nanomiya Shizuku, a notable demon slayer in this area. The two stand amongst rumors and Akito notices Mirai's hands are trembling. After that at a restaurant, Akito questions Mirai if she has ever killed a demon cat before. Mirai replies no. It's not that she hasn't but rather almost never. The girl explains her blood lineage suffers discrimination amongst demons, leading to her being restricted in using her. Akito questions why she thinks he loves a demon cat. Then Akito tells him he's immortal, meaning if she attacks him 100 times. Mirai says she can't practice with love, so he's training her. Akito reacts strongly and asks if she knows how stabbing the heart feels like. And she needs to understand that Akito's immortality is a genetic difference. Then a female employee apologizes for making them wait. The female employee introduces it as an extra burrito with open cheese, poblano, and chili con. Akito listens closely because the girl calls for another dish. Akito sighs in relief because he's turned into sand and forced to eat. Mirai says that's a deal and she won't stab him anymore today in exchange for food. Akito wonders if that means she'll continue stabbing him tomorrow. Mirai holds the lettuce and fork asking Akito why not. Akito closes his eyes and sighs deeply. Meanwhile, at a shadowy location, Shizuku appears holding hands with a large. Then the love cat turns into a green liquid and leaves behind a black stone. You asked Mirai why she didn't get those to stab him. Mirai's face. Akito then turned back to the stairs where Mirai was standing. She only thanked him for dinner. Then when Akito arrived home in the evening, opened his letter box and took out a few advertisement leaflet. He went to his room and lay down on the floor, surrounded by books and food. Akito relaxed. He remembered seeing Mirai's intense look when confronting love. And her confidence. The next day at school, Akito came to eat with Naze. To the main point, she said today she didn't go to the club. She added that from now on she will only speak in dialogue and you shouldn't reply. Then Naze said that the Naze clan is watching Mirai because they have been interested for many generations. The ruler of this land has always suppressed them. She told Akito to cut off all contact with Mirai. Akito claimed he was immortal so he couldn't die anyway, and like Naze came and whispered in his ear saying it's good to know death can be an. And after school, Mirai went looking for Akito as she didn't want to fight anymore but chose to face her directly. He then turned back to Mirai saying that they both need to talk, after which they went and bought food and went to the. Akito looked at Mirai and asked Mirai what was her objective in coming to this town. Mirai said there was nothing special and asked why Akito asked. Akito said that someone had told him not to get involved with her, but she didn't listen to him and gave her phone to Akito to look at. Those were the negative comments on social media about her. Akito looked. Mirai laughed and said everyone likes reading her blog. Akito joked and promised to find and follow her right away. Then he seriously asked Mirai if she really had no special reason for coming here. She got upset and went to get food. Akito asked her why she didn't just go home to eat and asked what made her unable to. Mirai was startled, and Akito asked if Mirai's house had a witch living there. Mirai said that she just randomly rented a room and coincidentally the house has a witch living in it. Akito revealed that he also attracted witches. He would help her deal with the witch to earn money, and he wouldn't get hurt himself. Mirai refused again and she was scared of doing this will cause her death. So Akito stopped the exorcism and Mirai said if it's possible then she will stop right away. Because she had been trying to live a normal life but the bloodline was cursed, she is still filled with strange power. Akito smiled and said that he is the same too. Then Akito and Mirai went to Mirai's apartment. It was a room of protection. A monster appeared quickly. Akihito suggested they. Mirai immediately creates a blood-splattering sword that pierces through the TV and the woman continued to attack, and a strange demon dog appeared suddenly. Mirai faced a monstrous dog in the form of a dart. She quickly launched a flurry of attacks that felled the demon dog, but just as Akihito was about to thank her, the monster beast it leaped out of the window and Mirai didn't hesitate to follow it, and Akihito also scrambled to chase after it in an attempt to hold it back. The pursuit led them to a playground at night. The demon dog entered into play devices like slides and bouncy castles. Mirai clashed with it, but she seemed quite clumsy and tripped, causing Akihito to stand outside watching anxiously. Finally, the beast escaped to an underground sewer. Mirai showed immense disappointment and Mirai and the monster chased each other onto the roof and unexpectedly it sprouted wings and flew away. Mirai observed that Akihito was at a safe distance and immediately released his power to seal. Mirai saw that Akihito was at a safe distance, so she immediately released her powers to bind her. Then the girl only threw her blood at the monster. When her blood touched it, the monster got corroded instantly, causing it to fall on the ground. Mirai attacked and successfully killed the monster. The monster then vanished and left a stone. Due to overusing her blood control ability, Mirai suffered from anemia and fell unconscious. But Akihito was quick enough to run to her and help her up, suggesting she take the stone to Ayaka, who is an expert on handling the monster. Upon returning home, Akihito found a strange letter in his mailbox after school. Akihito and Mirai went to Sindhu's photo studio. There, they met Sindhu, who turned out to be a girl who actually loves her own kind. Mirai immediately got into defense, but Akihito explained that everyone is like humans and standing on their side. She introduced herself and claimed even though she loved monster, she had official license for supervising. The girl presented a certification document from Ayaka Sindhu with ID number 33.703 issued by the association. Mirai still felt strange when her monster's own business was being done. Someone then gave an example and compared how humans also raise and evaluate other animals like cows. She thinks love can have many different types, ranging from wild animals to human forms, so this is not. Akihito reluctantly agrees with her argument despite still feeling unconvinced. Just then, Mitsuki entered and immediately called Akihito a pig brat. Akihito retaliated, but Mitsuki waved him off and turned to look at Mirai. She remarked that Mirai turns out to be real, not a product of Akito's delusional fantasies. Mitsuki reluctantly said she thought Akihito was lonely and thus created a girl in her dreams wearing glasses and yelling cat sounds to avoid reality. Akihito refuted that the girl in his dream wouldn't yell like that but would talk about her glasses. Mitsuki then shifted the topic to how love has become increasingly violent and aggressive lately. She asked if anyone noticed anything unusual, but everyone said nothing was special. Akihito pressed further for more information, but Mitsuki dismissed him and warned him not to interfere with things that roar. Akihito turned to Mirai, who rejoined the literature club. Mirai reminded her that she had declined the club's invitation before. Later at school cafeteria, Mirai bought a basic udon bowl. Akihito offered her some rice balls, but she refused. He complained about her stubbornness in refusing to join the club. Then Akihito went out and bumped into Hiromi, Mitsuki's brother. Hiromi teased him for forgetting to protect the school yesterday, leading him to call cleanup crew for the aftermath. Akihito argued that he wasn't obligated to protect the school 24/7. He asked Hiromi about why their conflict escalated so much. Hiromi reminded Akihito of their truce, stating that Akihito shouldn't interfere or support anyone. During a conversation, Hiromi suddenly hugged Akihito's waist and complained that her hands were cold. Akihito used his body to cover her and scolded Hiromi as a weirdo. Hiromi still maintained her calm attitude and said that he would not reveal any information about the trigger of the evil event related to the demon. Akihito realized what Hiromi was hinting at but didn't have time to ask before the conversation ended. After school, Akihito went back to Sindhu's studio and saw the owner. He asked if Mirai had arrived yet. The owner said. Afterwards, they discussed that the barrier around the area where they lived was weakening but still powerful enough for an ordinary warrior. Akihito questioned whether Mirai could be considered an ordinary warrior or not. Meanwhile, Mirai got lost while trying to find the studio and wandered near Nei's mansion and accidentally met Mitsuki. Then she took Mirai there. Mirai was surprised and asked why Mitsuki always went with Akihito. Mitsuki replied shortly that she was watching him. Both went to the studio while Akihito and the owner were looking at a picture. It was a letter from Akito's mother, Zoe Canberra. A picture of Zoe Canberra in a peculiar catsuit jumps into a ball of yarn appeared on screen. Mrs. greets Akihito with a playful but concerned tone, asking about his. Akihito is deeply embarrassed and tries to conceal the image, but Mrs. Ayaka steps forward and sees everything. Mrs. notes that Akito's mother remains eccentric as always. They argue over whether Akito's mother was a world-renowned warrior with immense spiritual power but also had an odd fondness for dressing up in. Akihito tries to explain his cat ears are fake, but Ayaka teases him by saying they're truly real because she's the epitome of perfection. After dismissing the awkward greeting, Mrs. Joey turns serious and addresses the matter directly. She warns Akito that a tremendously powerful monster is heading their way. It's called Holosato or a holosphere. Mrs. explains that Holosato has no physical body, so it's difficult to kill, and its power is terrifying. She instructs Akito absolutely not to face it head-on and avoid it at all costs. After announcing the news, she returned to her child's room and finished the message. Ayaka quickly understood. Grandma explained that the appearance of a powerful ghost like Holosato is the main reason why lower-level ghosts have become chaotic, and the lack of support in recent days was due to the influence of its aura. Akito worriedly asked if even the A-class warriors could not cope, then what should they do? Ayaka replied that they could only wait until it passed by. After the discussion about the new threat ended, Ayaka proceeded to evaluate Mirai's precious rock she bravely obtained. She carefully inspected and put a price of 1,000 yen. Mirai was stunned and couldn't believe her ears because she had risked everything for this. Ayaka explained that it is the market price for that kind of ghost and could not be higher. Mirai reluctantly accepted this bitter reality with great disappointment. To eat, Mirai was taken to a beef restaurant by Akito and used the 1,000 yen to invite her to a meal. Mirai sits happily, asking for extra red chili powder to go with her food. Akito watched her eat and said she should feel honored that she received a good promotion from her first job here. Mirai thanked him, but the atmosphere suddenly became heavy. She said this would be their last encounter like this. She asked Akito not to interfere in her life anymore because they were different people entirely. Akito wondered why she said that. Mirai looked down dejectedly. The pressure made her confess she was unable to enjoy a happy life alongside another person. With a solemn voice, she confessed she had killed someone and the death was at her hands. Mirai's confession left everyone silent. Since then, Mirai often went to work for the Yakuza for money. But when she was close to getting the job, she hesitated, causing it to run away. Mizuki then had to step in. Mizuki gave a stone to Mirai, but she returned it as a thank you for saving her and insisted that she was completely different from him. Meanwhile, at another location, someone named Miroku Fujima introduced himself as through the joint observation of the Military Commission's Peace Force, Spirit of the World has the current leader of the Naze clan and Mizuki and Hiromi's sister. Miroku explained that the rare appearance of a high-level demon named Ghost brought him here to observe. He shared his point of view that a demon is a manifestation of hatred and evil in people, so as long as human beings exist, demons will. Izumi responded with a cold attitude by saying she viewed demons like agricultural products or fish, and eradicating them was only an After this conversation, Miroku asked Izumi about the picture of a demon being sealed in a temple and remarked that his talent at creating barriers was his. Meanwhile, at the high school, Akihito was stirring up trouble by talking about poverty. Hearing that someone said yesterday that Mitsuki had gone to buy stone for Mirai yesterday and got 10,000 yen. And the girl asked Akihito to help Mirai with something. Akihito sought out Mirai in the hallway to give her money, but she refused his offer because she thought she didn't need it. However, she still wanted Akihito to try and persuade Mirai to join the school play. However, again, she requested that he don't interfere in her. Mirai went off, then her uncle locked the money at a place for Akihito to finish his work. After going to the writing room, they discussed about the recent creature story. Naturally, Hiromi always had some excuse and the two of them switched the subject to whether Mirai was more attractive in glass. When Akihito was failing against Hiromi's charm, he flipped over his notes and said that Mitsuki was wearing glass. Hearing this from someone obsessed with their sister like Hiromi is unbelievable. At the same time, Mitsuki took on her glasses, entered the room to make him jealous, then gave Akihito a piece of paper. After school, he went to an abandoned train station. This was quiet and surrounded by security. At this location, Mitsuki just finished eating cookies while revealing important information collected by Yuri Ishinomiya about Mirai's secret pursuit of. Mitsuki said that Mirai was involved in the death of a girl from the Inami family named Ui when she was possessed by the phantom and Mirai had to kill her friend to stop it. At this moment, the sky outside began to turn a strange purplish color, signaling the phantom's entry into the town, causing Ayaka and anyone else. Mitsuki further explained to Akihito about Mirai's tragic past that despite her blood being tainted by darkness, she was adopted and taught how to control her power by the Inami family. However, tragedy strikes when Mirai has to kill Ui, the daughter who the Inami family loved dearly, to stop. After hearing all these sad facts, Akihito immediately runs to find Mirai. He questions her about her plan to confront the phantom and advises her to stay home and wait for it. However, Mirai with a heartbroken expression declined because she believes that even if she defeats the phantom or not, no one can be brought back from death. In Mirai's memories, images of her childhood friend Ui Inami who encouraged her when she was preparing for middle school and joining a club to play with. The pain strikes as Mirai cries uncontrollably that she is a monster and rejects Akihito's empathy. She believes that Akihito, despite being his boyfriend, has friends, family, and is accepted by people while she has been shunned and treated like an outcast since birth. Mirai declares that Akihito will never be able to understand her loneliness. Then she turns her back and runs away. Immediately after, the town's loudspeaker broadcasts an announcement banning all World Soul Warriors from due to its danger and the need for those who can create a barrier to assist in leading it away from the town. Despite warnings, Akihito still rushes towards Mirai. In the empty field area, Mirai prepares her weapons for combat when suddenly a voice booms calling her name. It's Sakura Inami, Iui's younger sister, who has come to avenge her sibling. Sakura questions why Mirai is still alive and whether she is trying to redeem herself or not. But later Sakura resolutely declares that she will not accept any kind of redemption and begins attacking Mirai with. Mirai had to dodge Sakura's relentless attacks while also facing a group of weaklings around her who are becoming chaotic due to the evil influence of the In a desperate situation where Mirai is pushed against the wall and struck by a fatal blow, Akihito promptly rushes in and uses his own body. Akihito's appearance causes Mirai to fall down, calling for her lover. Even though Akihito was wounded, he still smiles and assures Mirai that she is. Akihito lifts Mirai up and runs away, while Sakura chases after them relentlessly. However, a wall suddenly appears in their path, stopping the chase. Mirai is weak due to blood loss, but still tries to resist and demand to go alone. Akihito ignores Sakura's anger and continues running. He admits that he went straight into the situation as soon as he saw her without any. They realize they are trapped in a labyrinth created by their own memories thanks to the power of the Shadow Ball. Meanwhile, Mitsuki is searching for Akihito outside the school. Hiromi used this opportunity to get information about Mirai. Mitsuki had to give in and call Hiromi his loving brother at his request. Back inside the labyrinth, Akihito and Mirai argued fiercely as they moved. Akihito admits that he went after her just because she is beautiful with glasses, which made Mirai uncomfortable. Unexpectedly, a familiar voice rang out and Sakura appeared attacking them. Mirai recognizes this as a hallucination created by the Shadow Ball based on her fear and guilt about Yui's accusation. Mirai recognizes that this is a hallucination created by the shadow of Yui based on her fear and guilt about her bad grades. The surroundings don't change, continuously transforming into a gloomy train station where Yui's silhouette. Mirai tries to chase after her, but suddenly Yui grows big and grabs her. Akihito tries to warn her that it's fake, but now Mirai is submerged in despair. Just as the shadow was about to attack her, Akihito throws Yui's necklace in front of Mirai. A torrent of memories about Yui returns and Mirai has to accept the fact that her friend is dead. Suddenly, Yui vanishes and is replaced by a grotesque shadow figure. It lunges towards Mirai, but she unleashes a massive blood sword and strikes it down. The resulting gap closes. Akihito runs over to Mirai, only for Sakura to pull him into hiding behind a Mirai's blood starts pouring out like rain and eats everything within its range after the rain-soaked ground sets in, then Sakura also leaves. Akihito is left facing a terrified Mirai with her own power, seeing herself as a monster. However, Akihito says that no matter what, she's a woman with glasses to him. At this moment, the surviving shadow attacks Akihito. It penetrates his body like Yui did when attacking. In the last moments of composure, Akihito realized he had to use his sword to pierce through Mirai's body in order to expel the demon out, and Mirai believed in his immortality. Mirai hesitated, unsure about harming her brother, but Akihito encouraged her to continue. If she gives up now, all their efforts and sacrifices. A man begged her to help him live. He was cornered, and Mirai pierced through Akihito's chest with the sword, causing a bloody spray that stained the space crimson. A surge of darkness overwhelmed the monster, losing control as it started destroying everything around itself, but Mirai faced the creature again, fueled by her resolve. She easily overthrew the beast and vanquished. Mirai turned to Akihito after finishing. He still looked healthy. When she approached him, Ayaka and Hiromi restrained her, seeing a strange change in their aura and attempting to intervene to prevent disaster. Ayaka used all her power to rebuild the space while Hiromi used her ability to threaten Akihito, but now his strength surpassed even their imagination. Because of their bond, when he's trapped in a life-threatening state, love's defense mechanism will come into play and protect. Akihito was fighting in a rage and tried to break the seal. He attacked his friends they tried to hold him back with all their might, but Akihito was still too strong. Just when the situation became hopeless, Hiromi appeared with heavy weaponry to support, but she could only manage a brief hold. Mirai witnessed the horrifying scene and recognized the truth that she had long been unaware of. She saw her reflection in the monster's image. She understood that Akihito was just like her. Just like someone born into the cursed bloodline, shunned by society, and always alone in the world. Mirai was burdened with remorse for not understanding his pain, as she herself was tormented by the inhumanity and primal instinct of the monster. Mirai gently moved away from the chaotic energy surrounding Akihito. Despite wounds inflicted by unimaginable strength, Mirai tightly embraced him and repeatedly, tears streamed down her face as they mixed with blood. She whispered that she had been wrong to believe he could live a normal. Using her last remaining strength, Mirai pacified the violent rage inside Akihito. The struggle's aftermath was when Akihito regained consciousness. The monster's body disintegrated into a whirlwind of chaos, and he returned to his human form before slumping into her embrace. After the battle ended and order restored, at a flower cafe, Mirai eats a lot to replenish the blood lost, while Akihito just looks at her with weary but gentle expressions. Mirai complains that after all her efforts, the stone she got from the hollow ball is only worth 200 yen, which made her extremely disappointed. Akihito jokingly teases Mirai about eating habits, but their atmosphere has become more familiar and understanding. Akihito asks curiously if in Mirai's eyes, he looks like a normal. Mirai answers in her own way that to her, the boyfriend is just a frightening older brother with peculiar tastes and strange. In another development, Izumi stands alone in the darkness holding the real stone from the hollow ball with a faint purple light. She secretly collected it right after Akihito defeated the monster and told everyone about it. Izumi reported to a mysterious person that all her accomplishments were done and this would help the clan cope with the severe scrutiny from the world's warrior union spirit. After those days at the cultural living room where Akihito brought Mirai to visit. Though Mirai was cheerful but she didn't want to come, and was forced by Akihito, but he still fluttered and introduced her to the members. At this place, Mirai met Hiromi, a third-year student who often goes to school. She is introduced. When they met for the first time, Hiromi and Akihito instantly found common ground in their admiration of Mirai's beauty. They debated about how well a red eyeglass would suit her and affirmed that she possessed the perfect features of an ideal daughter-in-law. From having bouncy hair to a petite physique, Mirai felt very uncomfortable with them and called them out as outcasts. However, when they saw a comprehensive gardening manual on a shelf and knew that only members of the group could borrow it, Mirai's attitude changed instantly, and agreed to join in lightning speed that stunned Akihito. Mitsuki then appeared and the group began their first meeting with the new member. After the meeting, Mitsuki and Hiromi brought Mirai home and on the way, they told her about the power of the Naze clan in this region. They explained that the Naze clan manages world spirits warriors in the area and had vast amounts of land. Just then, a stranger named Miroku Fujima arrived from the World Spirit Warrior Union. He told them that the encounter with each other made the group realize the tight supervision by the union. The meeting led to the group realizing close scrutiny from the association following Miroku's departure. Mirai received a thunderous blow. Her fighter's license was revoked after 1 month as punishment. Since she violated the rules by confronting an empty void, this means she will lose her income and face poverty. She won't have food or be able to pay. Seeing Mirai's dire situation, Mitsuki recommended a light part-time job for her. At the same time, Hiromi suggested another job with high demands but Mirai had to visit the location to learn details. Following the recommendation, Mirai went to Sinda Photography Studio and there she met Aik and others who assigned tasks related to Aik explained that a regular customer often pays a high price for photos of beautiful women wearing glasses. The customer's name is Aik. Hearing this, both Mirai and everyone else immediately realized that it was Akihito Kanbara. Despite feeling strange and uncomfortable about this situation, due to financial pressure, Mirai was forced. She had to create a glamorous look and even get suggested a dozen more provocative photos to increase her earnings, but she firmly. During her break time, Mirai discovered a box containing nude photographs that Aik had given her. This caused more confusion for her about the strange preferences of the. After completing her job and receiving the pay, Mitsuki went to talk with Mirai about it. Mitsuki remarked that Mirai had changed a lot compared to before when she no longer kept a distance from people or declined participation in group activity. Mirai acknowledged that she used to think she had no choice but to be alone, but now her thoughts were beginning to change. However, Mitsuki warned Mirai against being overly concerned about Akihito, as he was a danger. He had previously killed Hiromi and the Naze family was tasked with closely monitoring him. The conversation made Mirai realize the complexity of people's relationships and the burden that each. Not long after, when the Ninth Lantern Festival was approaching, it was a local festival known for its popularity, but unfortunately, it only existed for couples. Aik and Ai were preparing to close their store for the festival, and although Mitsuki went with them, she declined because she felt inappropriate. In reality, Mitsuki always felt lonely and isolated due to the burden of the Naze. Meanwhile, Akihito had been off school for many days after becoming a lovesick stalker and he locked himself inside the house because of his shame and guilt. Mitsuki experienced the unique power again amidst the bustling crowd. Just when Mitsuki was sitting alone in a daze at the shop front, Mirai surprised him by creating a festival for them with fireworks and enjoying the joyful atmosphere. Mirai dragged Mitsuki to the festival. At the same time, Hiromi pulled Akihito over here. When Akihito was surprised to ask why they were there, Mirai smiled and said she came to encourage someone who was struggling to start a family. She shared that everyone is actually lonely, because everyone is lonely, so they need to find each other to warm their hearts. Mirai's words touched Akihito's heart, and Mitsuki helped them realize the invisible connection between people considered different. 4 people watched fireworks together and looked at the dazzling night sky, creating a warm and affectionate scene. Akihito was arguing with Hiromi about changing Mirai's image in Van Academy's classroom. Hiromi believes that Mirai will become more beautiful and prominent if she removes her glasses. Akihito vehemently opposes this idea because for him, wearing glasses is an absolute beauty that The debate stopped when they discovered that Mirai accidentally ruined some precious bonsai plants in Van Academy's classroom. These trees were meticulously cared for and are worth up to tens of thousands of yen, making Mirai fall into a difficult financial situation. Due to heavy financial pressure, Ayaka decided to find a way to earn quick cash, so she went to Ayaka's photo studio to receive the work. At Ayaka's studio, she was introduced to a special task with exorbitant pay of 500,000 yen. The objective is a giant fruit-shaped yumu monster that's resting on the schoolyard. This yumu has an unusual characteristic: it's extremely attractive and attracts women. However, this creature possesses a terrible defense mechanism, and will spray a foul-smelling liquid. If Mirai felt threatened, she accepted to defeat the yumu monster by using her special weapon. She approached the monster from behind in hopes of killing it before being discovered. However, her plan was completely ruined as Akihito repeatedly warned her about the creature. Instantly, the monster turned back and sprayed a foul-smelling liquid over Mirai's whole body, which made her smell so bad that she couldn't wash it off. After their first defeat, they had to retreat and find another solution. The smell of rotten odor stayed on Mirai's body for days, and she had to borrow someone's pajamas because her clothes were They won't give up and decided to implement the second plan, using a strategy involving Mirai reluctantly accepting the strong odor as it was because the young boy really liked beautiful. Mirai stood before the monstrous creature and tried to attract its attention while Maidotsuki waited for the opportunity to. However, the plan failed again when Mirai attacked too early, causing the monster to be startled and retaliated by spewing foul-smelling liquid at. As a result, Mitsuki was left covered in an unbearable odor, and things worsened as AIK revealed that the smell served as a signal to help the monstrous creature pinpoint its victim anywhere. This means they are trapped, and the only way to get rid of the smell is to destroy the monster. Facing imminent peril and humiliation from the stench, AIK devised a rather strange solution. She revealed that the monster was obsessed with music, especially with the songs of their idol. If anyone played or danced to those specific songs that it liked, it would completely lose its goal. Initially, Mirai and Mitsuki both vehemently objected because they felt performing as idols was too shameful and inappropriate for their world spirits. However, Hiromi, who held her family's honor with respect, was hurt to see her sister being bullied by a monster. She decided to participate. Thus began a rigorous one-week disciplinary retreat that took place immediately. They had to rehearse singing and dancing and train their team coordination abilities in preparation. After a week of relentless effort, the day of the decisive battle, Mirai and Mitsuki appeared on the school rooftop wearing iconic costumes and began singing the song Bond the Promise. Their performance was flawless with synchronized dance movements and captivating vocals that completely mesmerized Kan Yumu. His eyes locked onto the two girls, constantly shifting colors to express an undeniable moment of recklessness. Exactly. Akihito and Hiromi also faced the dazzling, unexpected brilliance of the two female warriors. Everything seemed to be going according to plan, and Kan Yumu was completely exposed for them to strike it down. The atmosphere grew tense when the music reached its final chords and Kan Yumu was in a precarious state of weakness. This is our golden opportunity to unleash the decisive blow and eliminate the monster, freeing everyone from the foul stench and securing a However, the real tragedy struck right after the performance ended when the lights went out and the music stopped. The entire group looked at each other. They realized a deadly mistake in their plan. They had spent too much time rehearsing singing and dancing and forgot to assign who would strike down Kan Yumu. While Mirai and Mitsuki were standing on the stage waiting for the attack, Akihito and the others thought that the two girls would fight by themselves. This awkward lack of communication led to a missed opportunity in the narrative, and as a result, they failed to eliminate the Yumu to obtain. The disappointment was palpable throughout the group when they realized how much effort they had put into training and the symbolic sacrifice of themselves, all for a fleeting moment. On a rainy day, Sakuya fought the Yumu while remembering the disturbing image in her memories from the time Sakura questioned Mirai about why she was still alive and whether or not she was searching for revenge. Sakura immediately brushed that idea aside and insisted on seeking revenge against her sister Iui, who Mirai had murdered. When she was younger, the older woman explained that the sky turned a dark purple as this is the color that only those with a spirit in them could see. Hiromi recounted how she discovered her prized collection of CDs for a popular idol group had been exchanged. He also noticed when he opened his music player and instead of hearing sweet vocals from female bands, a dramatic monologue, he still realizes when turning on the music, and instead of sweet singing from female singers, it is filled with dramatic recitation of the radio drama Naked Salaryman, also known as workplace nudity. The perpetrator of this sinister prank is none other than his sister. The reason is simple. Hiromi admitted that she was driven by the desire to listen to music for 2 nights before, and further, Hiromi revealed that her brother secretly registered Mitsuki to participate in a singing competition for Idol D48, without asking her opinion. Hiromi daydreamed about Mitsuki standing on the stage in adorable attire, hugging the microphone. Meanwhile, Akihito suggested adding details of wearing glasses for all members. Mitsuki's arrival triggered a pause when she asked if Mirai was still coming. The story continues as Akihito revealed that he's having udon noodles because today is cheap udon day with only 150. After hearing Mitsuki's words, she didn't comment and instead shifted to asking about the pot. She suggested they get rid of it. At this precise moment, a soccer ball flew in and broke one of the potted plants. This was a precious plant in their story collection. She spent tens of thousands of yen on caring for it. After that, Sakuya appeared at the school and announced an important news that Sakura Inami had passed the transfer exam and will officially enroll on the next day unless intervention occurs. However, No suggested that if Mirai wants, Izumi Naze can use family power to block this, but Mirai refused. She believes stopping Sakura from going to school won't change anything because Sakura can still attack her outside the school. Mirai thinks that killing the phantom may have brought some comfort to Sakura, but in reality, it didn't. As long as someone who killed Iui is alive, Sakura's pain will never stop. That evening when Akihito was going home, he saw Sakura fighting a group of monsters, but she gradually weakened and fell down before. Akihito quickly rushed to help her, but when he touched her weapon, he felt immense pain. He then quickly brought her back home for treatment. When Sakura woke up, she still had hostile and cold demeanor, but still accepted to stay and have dinner. They ate while discussing Sakura's weapons. He worried that a person without strong spiritual powers like Sakura using the parasitic weapon would inevitably be devoured by it. But she didn't care, all she needed was to feed it some love stones. And she had also made an agreement with this weapon, just kill Mirai and this weapon would belong to her. It's a condition for a man to give her that, but Akihito warned her because the weapon is very difficult to control. Even he was surprised by it. Just at this moment, Mirai appeared in Sakura wanting to fight here right now, but Akihito stopped her and made her leave. Mirai came this far because of Akihito forgetting something at the castle. Akihito thanked her before she left for borrowing it, but with a blocker's pair, she realized there was something wrong. She noticed a woman's shoe here and Mirai began to ponder many possibilities like Akihito and Mitsuki secretly meeting each other. When he refused, she became bolder thinking that Akihito and Hiromi are hiding feelings for. Quickly, she wrote a block on her own. When all else failed, Akihito hid out, saying Sakura surprised. Just as Sakura broke the window and moved away in front of them, she quickly transferred to Mirai's class. Everything went on as usual. Mirai knew how Sakura had sacrificed herself just to kill her through Akihito. She realized that she needed to stop everything, and then one rainy day, the battle between Mirai and Sakura was extremely intense. Sakura used magic spells to chase away weaklings and declared she would evaporate Mirai's blood. She cleansed her attack on the palace with a firm belief that she must kill Mirai to avenge her sister and prove her worth as a warrior, becoming a replacement soul warrior for Iui. However, Mirai continued defending herself and rejected any attack. She confessed that after defeating the ghost, she realized killing someone or forcing them to their death was something unforgivable and she did not want Sakura to get dirty, just like she had before. Sakura was furious at her emotional manipulation and continued attacking, but her weapon, it transformed into a monstrous form and turned towards the owner of its attack. Sakura was subjected to water weapon attacks and was in pain, realizing she wasn't strong enough to control it. In the meantime, Mirai, who was faced with life or death, did not. She embraced Sakura and revealed a truth that Yudari had actually been jealous of Sakura's lack of. This completely contradicted Sakura's own thoughts, who secretly envied her sister's immense powers. This confession broke down the wall between them, allowing Sakura to realize she didn't have to try. After their battle and they returned to reality, Sakura asked Mirai about what her sister had said, and Mirai advised her to just be herself. A Sakura and Inami as everyone knows them, the story came to its end when Moroku appeared in the darkness and observed everything. He revealed that the weapon he gave Sakura absorbed all the necessary cursed stone needed, and now is time for him to retrieve the orb. He also mentioned his own special, unique cursed stone-powered love potion that needs to lose weight. He needs to lose weight, his love's very special potato pancake is. At Naze's manor, Izumi felt a huge change was about to happen. A conversation between her and Mitsuki hinted at the silent moment or what is called a breakthrough. An anomaly occurred where everything wobbled and the protective barrier weakened. Izumi warned that the border of Hibiante boundary would soon appear. The air was tense, but this was hidden as Izumi went to meet her maid without warning. Izumi apologized for the sudden intrusion but then gave a request that made listeners feel uneasy. She wanted to practice using a weapon on people since she hadn't used it on humans in a long time. Despite her pleas for help and attempts to resist, Izumi remained cold-hearted and assured her that she would release her right away. Izumi explained that due to the approaching silence, things will change significantly, and she had a specific plan which the family could implement. Tomorrow, Mirai is trying to wake up Sakura to go to school, but Sakura still lies motionless and declares that she goes to school just to look for an opportunity. Now that reason no longer applies, so she doesn't find it necessary to go to school. She disagrees with that excuse and she throws her uniform at Sakura and criticizes his hairstyle, but Sakura only shrugs that Mirai is in a very embarrassing situation. The result of the morning meeting was that both of them ended up borrowing from each other and had to ride. On the train ride, Akihito fell asleep while Mirai and Sakura sat next to him, looking worried. When Mirai asked what was going on, Akihito confessed that he stayed awake all night because of the worry about an important thing to talk about, but they are just arguing over which Mirai wears a blue-rimmed glasses or not. One reason for Mirai's words is that teacher Nanomiya was reviewing for the upcoming final exam in class. Teacher explained that she would take a week off due to personal reasons starting tomorrow. When a student asked about her personal reasons, teacher Nanomiya jumped out of her seat way too quickly and threatened the boy not to talk with his class. Not long after Akihito received a letter from his mother, Ms. Gioi. The letter still carried strange words such as Hika, making Akihito confused. However, the content inside contains a serious message about the impending silence. Mitsuki then explains to Akihito in more detail about this phenomenon. Silence is a delay period when things seem to come to a standstill and the power of the yokai will be significantly weakened. For warriors with souls from the world, this is an excellent opportunity to eliminate powerful yokai that they cannot normally. However, for a half-yokai like Akihito, this is a highly dangerous moment. Mitsuki warns that when yokai power weakens, Akihito's immortality could also be lost. This means that if someone wants to kill him, this is the perfect opportunity. A heavy sense of anxiety came over the group as they realized the potential threat to Akihito, who was in danger during the time close to mid. Meanwhile, Miroku was driving Mitsuki around while he was talking about the secret origins of yokai. He explained that the strongest yokai rarely have physical bodies and it takes many years to form from the accumulated grudge and twisted emotions of countless. If we leave them unchecked, they could lead to the extinction of the world and be called the other side of the border. Miroku believes that the Nais family and the World Spirit Society are hiding information about this. He also revealed that the Inami clan attempted to kill Mirai because she killed their daughter Iui, but Izumi stopped it. Miroku's words aimed to sow suspicion in Hiromi's mind regarding Mirai and the other side of the border. Moreover, he alludes that Hiromi is being kept in a state of blind faith by her. Turning back to Akihito, he starts feeling unwell and seems to have encountered an accident. Some memories from his past flash through his mind about him at a young age with bloody hands, and everyone around him, after getting scared, returns to the present, suddenly facing Izumi. What she did causes him to faint in a state of unconsciousness before she leaves. Somehow he was brought back home by Sakuya for care and protection. Mrs. announced that the human part of Akihito is also weakening along with the love energy, she advised Mirai and Sakura to go home because they couldn't do anything for Akihito at this time and sitting watching him sleep was quick as well. However, Mirai remained anxious and worried. Meanwhile, Miroku continued with his plan until he unexpectedly ran into Izumi. He used a weapon capable of absorbing love energy to create an artificial monster. The monster immediately devoured another love demon to increase its strength. Miroku had confidence in his power, but Izumi proved the Nais clan head's superior class as she effortlessly eliminated that monster with just one attack. Izumi warned Miroku about the absolute dominance of the Nais clan's power and how other hostile forces constantly tried to create internal She also dismissed Miroku's words regarding Mitsuki and believed they were a deliberate ploy to undermine unity. However, Miroku maintained his enthusiastic attitude and left with an enigmatic air while Mirai and Sakura went shopping together. Mirai calculates the cost of Chili's groceries, making Sakura feel like while returning home with food, Sakura unexpectedly asked Mirai about her feelings for Akihito. Sakura wondered why Mirai wanted to be near Akihito despite knowing she couldn't help him. Mirai becomes flustered and denies any romantic relationship while explaining that she feels comfortable around Akihito because he treats her like a normal person. Despite having an unusual digestive system, which causes unusual strength, people shun her. Even when meeting Akihito for the first time, this made Sakura feel accepted and happy. However, she playfully teased Mirai with a familiar phrase that made Mirai blush and defend herself. However, the peaceful atmosphere was disrupted when the electric train system signaled the start of a silent spell. At Sinda Photography Studio, Ayaka and AI were preparing to close down. "We came here to capture Akihito." However, Ayaka resolutely refused to hand him over because she swore to protect him. Miroku relentlessly attacked and a fierce battle ensued right at the photography studio. Even though it was a silent period, Miroku's power remained tremendous. "We used our abilities to overpower Ayaka, proving that we were not a mere opponent and had meticulous preparations for this attack." Just when the plan to kill Ayaka was about to succeed, someone else arrived to help. Akihito. The creatures started appearing everywhere and Mitsuki's twin brothers had to start clearing things. Meanwhile, Izumi faced Miroku. With a first strike from her, she managed to block the attack. Then Miroku approached Ayaka. The two started to exchange blows at high speed. As Miroku faltered in combat, Izumi quickly countered and trapped her. However, he escaped from her grasp. Before Izumi got the chance to attack him more seriously, he was injured by Izumi's sword. A huge explosion happened nearby, causing Izumi to lose focus and Miroku to take advantage of the explosion was caused by Akihito. When Mirai rushed into the room, she saw who was hurt. She quickly ran with the child away but Akihito chased after them both. They faced each other, and Ayaka came to take care of whoever was injured. Just as they were about to fight, Izumi arrived to help. But Akihito escaped, and Mizuki's two brothers had a hard time fighting to bind and destroy a large monster. Before the group could find out where he went, Izumi sent a message about Akihito's disappearance to both of them. They searched the house thoroughly. Mirai recounted Ayaka's explanation and made it clear that Akihito had changed into a Yumu. Akihito's body is weakened to the point of exhaustion due to his silence. Even more so than the Yumu's part, it's affected by Akihito's silence. This serious imbalance caused the Yumu to rise and take control of his body. Being weak himself, the Yumu was not strong enough to completely destroy him instantly. Instead, he ran off on instinct. Mirai sees the personal belongings of the boy. Later she steps out and starts looking for things in the room. She accidentally finds a box of comics filled with photographs and sketches about his eye. There are even charts listing pictures of her 100 photos with detailed comments on her beauty while wearing glasses. This made Mirai feel embarrassed and annoyed. She muttered, "It is so difficult." However, deep down she felt Akihito's sincere feelings and a bit foolish and said that it was hard to bear. Suddenly there was a loud noise outside. The group ran out to see a big bump around. At this point, Izumi had to speak up. Izumi warned her that if the silence ended and Akihito remained in a state of love, then his human form would be completely obliterated. At that point, he would become a powerful immortal vampire and a threat to the world. Izumi issued a cruel order. But the only solution at this moment was Mirai having to kill Akihito right when the silence ended, as he lost his immortality ability. This proposal caused Mirai to be torn between her duty as a supernatural being and her personal feelings for the person who has always cared and protected. Meanwhile at Nace family mansion, Hiromi started to doubt the secrets her sister was hiding. He walked into Izumi's office and found confidential documents about a special investigation. As such, Hiro stumbled upon the truth that the vampire was actually residing within Akihito's body, not just a normal vampire. And her order to Mirai to kill Akihito wasn't just about eliminating one vampire but part of a larger plan by the Nace. And her order to Mirai to kill Akihito wasn't just about eliminating one vampire but also part of a larger plan by the Nace family for control. Eliminate this looming danger, Miroku appeared at the Nace mansion to seek the football's lucky stone and he was already making plans to attack Hiromi. Miroku confirmed Hiromi's assumptions and aimed for the power on the other side of life, returning to Mirai. After a deep thought and inner conflict, she decided to search for Akihito. She found him unconscious in the snow-covered parking lot. His body was undergoing transformation with mystical energy surrounding it. Mirai called Hiromi. She confirmed to them that she will carry out the mission to kill Akihito to prevent the catastrophe. However, hidden in her voice is a deep sorrow and a determination to sacrifice herself. Hiromi tried to stop Mirai through the phone but Mirai hung up the call. Don't confront this person under Akihito who has lost consciousness and is being influenced. Mirai recalled Akihito's smile, remembering those times he praised her for wearing glasses beautifully and also moments of peaceful She wondered if she was truly a villain or not as fate forced her to kill the person she loved the most. Akihito in his madness ran towards Mirai. Mirai dodged and used her blood-stained sword to counterattack. A battle takes place against the backdrop of snowy cold, but filled with fierce struggles. She said she doesn't want to kill him, but this is the only way to save him from a monstrous existence. Finally, when Akihito rushes in with a fatal attack, Mirai did not dodge and instead charged straight. After some time at the hospital where Akihito is regaining consciousness after a long coma, he notices that he is being given an infusion, and beside When she saw that Akihito was awake, she seemed relieved since he had gone through a life-threatening situation after transforming into a Returning home, Mirai explains that despite Akihito losing control, thankfully he did not harm anyone. This may be due to the influence of the silent spell which limited his power. However, there are still many wounds on him as his immortal lover's healing ability is also ineffective during this time. The room becomes warmer as Mirai brings out a dish she calls rice balls and noodles to nourish Akihito. However, it was a terrible meal when the only cooked rice balls were placed next to a whole roasted pig head in the freezer, making him cringe. Sakura now scolds Mirai for something he ate. At the same time, it was revealed that throughout Akihito Hanmei period, Mirai had always been standing beside him. Although Mirai tried to deny it and become embarrassed, her attention towards Akihito is undeniable. On the other hand, Akihito felt very hot today, so Mirai said that it was summer but they're about to be ushered into winter. Mirai arrived at the writing space and saw everything seemed normal but had a strange feeling. She met Akihito who was sleeping soundly, but when she called him he didn't respond. He just shifted back to summer at the right. Their conversation became deeper as Mirai asked why Akihito treated her so well. And Mirai replied that it's because Akihito looked like her and both of them carried a family secret of being ostracized by the world. However, the truth started unraveling when Akihito saw a snow-winged bird during summer. An unusual phenomenon made him realize that something was off about. Mirai just now confessed that all that Akihito is seeing is a dream. A hallucination created by a bit of blood left in his body. The truth was revealed through the memories he's looking back on from 6 months ago. When Izumi first met Mirai and revealed that Akihito is the vessel for something else on the other side of a powerful, destructive force capable of Izumi used Mirai by saying that she is the only one who can destroy it because of her special blood control ability from her family lineage. That Izumi devised a cruel plan to deal with the stillness. She intended to use the freezing barrier to weaken Akihito's human form and lure his destructive power. After that, Fbo Mirai must make a choice between. Izumi manipulated Mirai's mind by saying that Akihito wants her to live, and his death will be a release for both of them. However, Mirai did not choose to kill Akihito as Izumi desired. Instead, she made a courageous and selfless decision. She knew that in the period of stillness if she used all her blood and body to pull the boundary away from Akihito's body without having to kill him. While that means she would have to vanish together with the monster into another dimension, she would return back to the dream. Mirai told Akihito that she had succeeded in separating the monster. She explained that she came to this town first to eliminate him, but after meeting and she realized that Akihito was not a monster, but a friend, an older brother who showed her what acceptance and love meant. Mirai smiled in tears and said she was so happy that she was born. Meet him, the girl bids farewell to Akihito as his dreams fade away. He wakes up in a hospital. Now it's reality, he is stunned to realize Mirai has vanished entirely from his world. Left alone with unimaginable pain and the harsh truth that the woman wearing glasses whom he loved sacrificed her life for a normal life for him. A cruel truth he will have to face in the days to come as Mirai is no longer by his side. Akihito wakes up after a long coma, experiencing anxiety and overwhelming emotion. Immediately upon opening his eyes, he first asks about Mirai's whereabouts but only receives silence and sorrow. Mizuki announces that he had been in a coma for 3 months. To be more astonishingly, he has lost the immortal ability he possessed because of a monster beyond the border. Mizuki explains that to save him, Mirai used all her blood to fill the monster's body outside. And then she disappeared along with it, leaving Akihito in shock and grief as he believed Mirai likely died. It is impossible for anyone to survive. As the atmosphere hangs heavy and silent, Akihito suddenly realizes that Hiromi has lost her familiar. Hiromi explains that he is no longer as immune to cold as before, meaning his ability to cross over is weakening. Akihito hears strange sounds from the sky that others cannot sense, like a feeling unknown to them. After calming down, Akihito goes to Ayaka's photography studio, where she and another person arrived with giant piles of rice. Ayaka believes that Akihito hearing strange sounds indicates he still has some connection to the other side of the boundary even though it left his body. Akihito becomes enraged and questions Hiromi about Izumi's plan, realizing they knew Mirai would sacrifice herself. The debate intensifies. Hiromi asks Akihito if knowing ahead of time he would choose a way to save Mirai, either letting her die or allow. Akihito is stunned and in pain, and soon after encounters Izumi. Izumi explains the origin of the boundary, stating that it appears every few thousand years to eliminate human. She confesses she used Mirai's affection for Akihito to make her willingly sacrifice herself. Izumi affirms she is grateful to Mirai for helping rescue the world. Return to Akihito, you remember quite mysteriously about the ordinary life with Mirai and realize that it is a farewell. Akihito's phone call and other people suddenly receive messages from Mirai. That was some of the letters she had written beforehand before disappearing in Mirai's letter where she reveals that she was very happy to be born and meet Akihito. She realizes her power isn't for a word, but for protecting the one she loves. She wishes for Akihito to live a normal life as he has always desired and forget about her. The tear-soaked letters increase Akihito's pain and heartache. Meanwhile, Izumi realizes the situation is beyond control when someone on the other side of the boundary is still alive and fighting Mirai in a different dimension. It's absorbing power from mythical creatures and spirits to become stronger for battling Mirai. The sky begins to change strangely, causing Akihito's group to know. Mirai's mother, Jaoi, suddenly appears in an unusual outfit and talks with a confusing tone that makes the atmosphere tense then suddenly lighten up. Jaoi announces seismic news that Mirai is alive and fighting alone across the border to protect the world. She warns that if the monster wins, the world will perish, so she decides to intervene despite it going against. After Mirai was rescued, Jaoi points at the stone amulet Akihito is holding. Jaoi reveals the truth, that stone amulet is not a mere token but also part of Akihito and also part of the other. This means that Akihito can use the stone to shift to the spatial dimension where Mirai is fighting. She reminds Akihito that he's no longer immortal and traveling there is extremely dangerous. However, he doesn't hesitate at all. He asserts that despite not being immortal, he still remains a beloved supernatural warrior and will do everything possible to save his important. Hiromi and Mitsuki decide to stay and solve the lies caused by Izumi and stop the family maze from collapsing. They put complete trust in Akihito and set out on their journey. Using the stone amulet's power, Akihito soars into the sky and enters the dark spatial dimension where the battle is taking place. There he sees Mirai wounded and fighting against the overwhelming power of the monster. When Akihito appeared, Mirai was both surprised and astonished, feeling frustrated that he didn't listen to her and instead chose to plunge into the danger. Ignoring the criticism, Akihito rushed towards Mirai with determination, vowing not to let her endure further loneliness. He claimed that they were alike and would fight together against Mirai head-on. Even as Mirai screamed in pain and cried, demanding to know why he had come here, Mirai was overwhelmed by the pain and the heartbreak. Her hopes were dashed because she only wanted him to survive, but Akihito waved aside all this logic and reasoning. He admitted that he never demanded such things, and having his life forfeit in exchange for hers held no meaning to him. He called her troublesome, yet his words contained the unwavering resolve that he would never accept a world without her. Meanwhile, outside the boundary of time and space, Mrs. Jaoi appeared in her unusual attire to confront Izumi. She realized that Izumi had reached a breaking point and was being consumed by the darkness within. The women discuss a family secret about the Nei's lineage and their burdens. Back to Akihito and Mirai, they're trying to defeat the monster. Mirai asks Akihito about his weakness in the creature but he doesn't know anything so he thinks it hates salted. Both of them shout salted fish and successfully gain its attention. Mirai blocks the attack coming from them. However, there are too many of them that she can't hit all. Luckily Akihito appears and uses his hands to block the. One part of his arm may have been affected by the transformation magic. They tried to approach the huge door. Meanwhile, outside the group, Izumi faced Moroku, seeing that Akihito has defeated a 1.0.0 version with. Meanwhile inside, Akihito took Mirai on his electric-powered scooter and drove past. Akihito again tells Mirai to clean up the monster's mess, and soon they both laugh at each other as they stand beneath the monster. The remaining task is up to Mirai to resolve it, but the thing that's not easy for her is the creature attacking both. Mirai feels worried and grasps the opportunity. She creates a blood-stained sword and throws it high into the sky. She succeeded in overcoming thousands and countless monsters and directly struck at the creature. It roared. Miroku realizes that he's getting closer, one step away from Mirai. All of the things she swallows will turn into a giant vortex and release it throughout the world. The question is, how is Izumi doing? At this time, Akihito and Mirai are in a dim space. There are all sorts of insults and eerie voices around. He mocks her weakness and hypocrisy. He conjures up the pain of the past and the truth that Izumi also. Before the enemy's assault, Hiromi suddenly appeared. He asserted that he would not become a cold person like his sister and instead will use strength to protect loved ones in his own. Hiromi's steel declaration made Izumi feel touched but also felt lighthearted because her brother has grown up. And the girl charged at Mikuru, but Han disappeared in an explosion of tears and then vanished. In the realm of consciousness, Akihito and Mirai face negative words. He told her to close her eyes and calm down. Akihito reminded his girlfriend not to be burned. Love emerges from deception and hatred among people. That's humanity's weakness. Akihito reminded Mirai about their first encounter. About what they both said about how they are similar and how their lives changed when they met. So don't let the sadness of the past defeat you, and remember you're not alone. And there was Akito. When they both opened their eyes again, a monster appeared in front of them. They were numerous and restless, yet none showed any fear or worry on their faces. Akito just said fight, and the two started farming monsters. They were insignificant compared to their power. With Ayaka's support, all the monsters were wiped out soon. But before Akito could catch his breath, a giant hand appeared attacking. Akito blocked the attack and faced the monster of love himself. Akito told it not to be afraid of the darkness or negative emotions. He affirmed that all jealousy is part of human nature. The contradiction, the hate for self-importance, the rivalry, and all the hatred in itself were also a part of him. He declared to bear all those feelings with her because they had existed inside him too. With shared soul, strength, and love, they unleashed a decisive blow to defeat their enemy. Right before the borders crumbled, the space around them started. Mirai realized that the time for farewell had come. When Akito's monster returned to his body, her existence would disappear too. In the briefest of final moments, Mirai asked Akito to erase her head in a simple act, yet it contained untold love. Akito stumbled through, mirroring Mirai's smile despite tears. She said she was truly happy to meet him and confessed that she was very happy to love him. Mirai's sincere confession deeply touched Akito but also filled him with happiness. Mirai gradually faded away. Mirai vanished right in front of Akito, leaving him alone in an empty space. Reality slowly returned to normal, winter ended, and life resumed. Hiromi officially took over the leadership of the Ne's family clan in place of Izumi, who left to find herself. Mitsuki continued his habit of teasing Akito at their literary club, but everyone seemed somber about Mirai's absence. Akito seemed to have accepted the truth yet still remembered the girl with glasses who changed his life. He contemplated the nature of the world, how light and darkness are always intertwined, and that humanity must continue despite this chaos. Then one fine day, Mirai's necklace, made from her blood, suddenly went missing from Akito's hand. Lin's detailed explanation of the strange event was unclear. He ran to the school rooftop. A familiar scene does not appear before his eyes with the clear sky and light. Mirai, standing beside the rich family, is waiting for. She turned back to look at him with a familiar, easy smile as Akito approached her with unsteady hands. He took out a red glasses case he always carried around and said she could wear them because he didn't. He chuckled, saying that Mirai looked beautiful when wearing the glasses. Welcome. Mirai responded with a familiar but unconcerned phrase. The story ends with a bittersweet ending for those who were once lonely and wounded. They have found each other forever. Good.